global tech company that predominantly employs staff on the autism spectrum, is setting up shop in New Zealand in partnership with Autism NZ. The social enterprise employs 265 autistic people worldwide, making up 70% of the company's total workforce, and is now looking for talented New Zealanders to join their team. According to Autism NZ, it is estimated less than 10% of Kiwis who have been diagnosed as autistic are in full-time employment. Bodo Mann is the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of auticon Australia. He's with us on the line. Bodo, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Interesting topic, this one. I'd like to know more about the company. I mean, how was auticon established?
Yeah, no, it's a fascinating time. So, auticon is a global enterprise. So we are basically defined as a social enterprise. We were formed about 11 years ago, at the time by a German entrepreneur whose son was on the spectrum, and he was disenchanted with the career outlook and the job prospects for people on the spectrum. So he set it up as a social enterprise. It attracted the attention of Sir Richard Branson, subsequently, who is now an equity shareholder. The Porsche family trust is involved, and two venture capital funds. And basically 11 years later, we're in 9 countries around the globe. The latest one, that's why I'm in Auckland at the moment, we're just in the process of setting up auticon New Zealand. And it is certainly an exciting time. And what makes us probably unique, it is worthwhile just adding that, is we have this 360 support model where we have our own job coaches on our payroll. We have so-called tech leads as well. And we provide this holistic coaching and support model, which allows us to basically assure, value-added outcome for our partners and clients, basically.
Let's go straight to our panelist. Joe, your thoughts or questions on this?
Well, I think it's a great initiative. I think, diversity is a strength, including neurodiversity. I think there are communities of people who are not able to contribute to their potential, and that is a loss for us as a society. But I guess I'm thinking this is a risk it'll be a bit of a silo, that this is a space where autistic people work. Mm-hmm. Do we also need to skill up in terms of all workplaces to recognise where we have to stretch, or what changes we need to make to ensure that people coming to the table with a diversity of strengths and skills can contribute? Like, do we need to make changes in workplaces to make them more places where people who are neurodiverse can function effectively and feel welcome and feel, they're welcome at the table?
Look, I 100% agree to that, if I may just jump in there. And our mission is basically not just to provide meaningful employment for autistic talent, but we want to basically put this, drive this paradigm shift that, achieving social impact is not mutually exclusive to basically adding sustainable value in a corporate world. And so we are not a charity. We're certainly not a recruitment company. And we want to basically prove to the world that a for-profit business can also have a material social impact.
Raj?
Yeah, I mean, this is potentially wonderful news because, as Joe said, not only does it give a range of neurodivergent people an opportunity to share their many abilities and make great contributions, it would help the wider community to have a much greater awareness of all of these abilities that perhaps we overlook. So I would love to learn about Auticon's work in other countries when it comes to, has it actually affected broader business practice? Have other companies kind of realized this great pool of talent they're missing out on? And has it started to change both employment practice and legislation?
Absolutely. So over the last 11 years, we obviously grew out of Germany into 4 other European countries. 4 years ago, we went across the Atlantic into the US and Canada. 3.5 years ago, we started operations in Australia and basically, as of today, in New Zealand. And if you look at it holistically, there are probably 3 important dimensions. So the individual itself, if you look at the stats, and New Zealand will be very similar to the Australian stats, 34% of autistic talent are actually, or autistic individuals are actually unemployed.
Wow.
If you look at the underemployment rate, that is actually 90%. So you have some highly qualified identified unique individuals who are completely underutilized. So from an individual perspective, suddenly they are employed, they can contribute to society, they can, afford their own lifestyle. Huge change there. If you look at from a society, you have a whole group of individuals who can actually function and add to the community and to society as a whole. And the third component would be the corporate, the individual. I mean, as we all know, there's a humongous skill gap pretty much all around the world, and that did help us at least to pop up on the radar screen as an alternative talent source, particularly in the tech space. So from a corporate perspective, there are huge benefits. And if you look at the holy grail of corporate success, it is innovation. Right. And in order to achieve innovation, you need to have a very mixed team with different ideas, different ways of problem solving. And by definition, neurodiverse individuals can do that because they have a very different thought process.
We'll have to leave it there, but thanks for enlightening us on this, and I look forward to see how auticon goes here. That's Bodo Mann, the Chief Executive Officer of Auticon Australia.